Live from 2 on your side. This is Channel 2 News Tonight.
And we begin tonight at 11 with a developing story in Buffalo's Black Rock neighborhood. A Buffalo police officer and a civilian driver were hurt in a crash at the intersection of Tonawanda Street and Hurdle Avenue. This happened around 9 o'clock. You can see here one vehicle is on its side. The video there, you can see the fireman standing around it on the right side of your screen. A city spokesperson told 2 on your side that the officer suffered non-life-threatening injuries. We're told the other driver has minor injuries. The cause of that accident still under investigation. Thanks for joining us at 11. I'm Dave McKinley. Courtney Courtright is off tonight. We have new information as well on a 3-alarm fire in North Buffalo. Delaware Avenue from Hurdle to Tacoma is back open tonight after crews spent hours battling flames inside an apartment building. 2 on your side's Alyssa Clausell spoke with fire officials and residents. She's here in the studio with more. Alyssa?
Well, Dave, it was a response that required 80 firefighters and took 2 hours to get under control. The fire ripped through the building, forcing evacuations and sending thick smoke across the neighborhood.
It was terrifying. And it was so thick and black. And then I could see the flames, and it was terrible. It was really terrible.
For hours, Marilyn Henderson watched as Buffalo fire crews worked to put out a 3-alarm fire inside her North Buffalo apartment building.
And I could see the smoke, and it was just like, oh my God, oh my God.
Buffalo Fire Division Chief Dan Bossy says when crews arrived,
there was a couple people that were hanging out of windows already. So obviously our first priority is life safety.
And according to Buffalo Fire Commissioner William Ronaldo,
one individual jumped out of the second floor window, I believe, or second or third floor window, a broken leg.
The fire so intense that crews had to evacuate the building and fight from the outside for a moment.
The fire ran the length of pretty much the length of the building, and it was pretty intense for a while.
15 people at the scene of the fire had to be evaluated, and 4 were sent to ECMC for non-life-threatening injuries. Chief Bossy noted that a fire this large happens a handful of times in the city of Buffalo.
Less than 10 for sure, probably closer to 5 fires in the city that go to a 3rd alarm each year. This was a 3rd alarm where we used every piece of equipment too.
Neighbors like Dominique Taylor say they're thankful for that response.
I want to thank all the fire departments who was here because they was really like bringing them out by the dozens.
Taylor was shopping nearby when she realized her own apartment was on fire.
I got out the parking lot. I said, that's my apartment. And I just took off running down Delaware.
But tonight, despite the fire, she says she's still grateful.
I'm just glad I'm still here. My new furniture, my apartment, it can all be replaced. I'm just glad that I still have my health and I'm still here, you know.
And we're being told tonight that estimated damages to the building are about $2 million. At this time, 16 units inside that apartment building are displaced as the Red Cross helps find temporary housing. The cause of this fire is still under investigation. On your side, Alyssa Clausell, Channel 2 News.
New York State DEC Commissioner Amanda Lefton was a Western New York visitor today, and while here, 2 on your side was able to ask her about the situation at Great Lakes Cheese in Franklinville. Concerns were raised in late August following a mass quiche fill in Ishua Creek, after which the company was forced to shut down production, which resumed on a limited basis just 5 days ago. The DEC only acknowledged prior problems with waste discharges at the plant after 2 on your side, using records from the EPA, revealed the plant violated its discharge permit 20 times between when it opened last November and July of this year.
Where was the DEC in all of that in real time? You know, we're now almost a year later, but they were violating it every month.
Yeah, so we've actually issued several notices of violations to Great Lakes Cheese. For a digester system like they have in that facility, digesters do take some time in order to actually start functioning properly because they're live systems. And so it's pretty common that you'll see with a digester that it takes some time to get going. That said, we saw significant violations, so we issued them actually 4 notices of violations, and we are working on taking action against them.
And Lefton vowed her agency will hold the company fully accountable. The annual Igniting Hope Conference was held today at UB's Jacobs School of Medicine, where civic leaders, residents, faculty, and students came together to discuss some of the region's most pressing health and social challenges.
There's a lot of great ideas that stood up, but what's most important is it's our hope. People are not defeated. You know, they feel that, you know, we can take control of our own communities, and that's what it's all about.
Topics discussed included housing affordability, access to health care and food, and education and literacy. Fall may be around the corner, but it's still feeling a bit like summer outside, isn't it? Here's a live look over downtown Buffalo on your Saturday night. Storm Team 2 meteorologist Dan Russell's in the Weather Center with the latest on the forecast. Dan?
Hello, Dave, and good evening, everybody. It was a good one today. Sunshine, mild temperatures, and overall, we have another bonus summer kind of day for your Sunday. We do have a few high clouds kind of rolling overhead. That's because we actually have our next weather system that is on approach, an area of low pressure that is moving into the western Great Lakes. You can kind of see that spin in the atmosphere right there. Eventually, this is the system that will try to spin a few of those scattered showers in our direction, some very much needed showers, but not until Monday morning. So as we take a look at those weather headlines, enjoy tomorrow. It is another summery day. We're going to make a run at 80 degrees. Could be the warmest day we see potentially for a long, long time. Enjoy it. And again, we are going to get at least into a bit of unsettled weather. No washouts here, but at least some scattered showers to start off the upcoming week. Even with all that, remaining mild. Temperatures remaining at to above average, I think, right through the rest of the month. We'll talk more about it with the extended forecast in just a bit. Dave?
All right, look forward to it, Dan. Today was the 12th annual Veterans Appreciation Day at Niagara Falls High School. The event honored veterans and their families from all branches of the military. Hundreds turned out to enjoy food, live music, raffles, and a special medal search to help families locate past awards.
The gratitude, some of them, especially Vietnam veterans coming in who didn't receive it when they came back, to see it now, it still makes a difference. If it's 40 or some years later, it makes a difference, and that's what matters.
It's just good to see some old friends, people I haven't seen in a long, long time.
It always is. The event always raises money for scholarships, senior services, and the Field of Flags at Hyde Park. In Orchard Park, a benefit was held for 12-year-old Matthew Battleson, who's being treated for a rare and severe neurological condition known as Norse fires. Hundreds turned out to raise money for Matthew's parents as they stay by his side in Boston, where he remains under sedation.
It's incredibly supportive. I don't have words really to fill what it is to have this many people show the love, have this many have shared it on social media, to have this many people reach out, donate, everything that has happened to make this day what it is.
That fundraiser was held at the Wings Meeting Place Event Center. Coming up, a man is detained outside the stadium where Charlie Kirk's memorial is going to be held. What authorities are saying happened and what security measures are in place for tomorrow. An armed man accused of posing as a member of law enforcement entered the stadium in Arizona, where a memorial service for Charlie Kirk is set to take place Sunday. The Secret Service says this happened Friday when the man was, quoting now, exhibiting suspicious behavior. Authorities say Joshua Runkles was booked into the Maricopa County Jail on charges of impersonating a law enforcement officer and carrying a weapon into a prohibited place. Thousands are expected to attend Kirk's memorial service, and police expect to turn away many others, even from an overflow area. Security will be tight, according to our Cole Sullivan, who reports on the preparations made.
To give you an idea of just how tight the security is for this memorial service, the Department of Homeland Security is treating it as an event on par with the Super Bowl. And we've already seen a security incident here at State Farm Stadium. A 42-year-old man arrested by the Secret Service, charged with impersonating a police officer and a weapons charge.
Panel by panel, crews put up another ring of protection. This is the easy-to-see security at State Farm Stadium.
But there's going to be a lot of things that are not visible to the naked eye to make sure you're safe.
Jose Santiago with Glendale Police says Charlie Kirk's memorial is similar but not the same as other major events hosted here.
The only difference here is when we had something like the Super Bowl, we had upwards of 2 years to plan something like that. This one we had about a week.
And they still don't know how many people will show up.
We started talking about 100,000 or more, and I think we're actually downplaying that number. I think it's going to be much greater than that.
It's just amazing. It's so beautiful here.
Lisa Prokosh came Saturday to see a growing memorial outside Turning Point headquarters, the organization 31-year-old Kirk led until his assassination last week.
It's overwhelming for me. It's overwhelming. I told my husband we had to go. I needed to come down here today.
As the people who made the pilgrimage planned to fill the stadium,
Okay, good, right there.
police prepare to protect VIPs. Speakers at the funeral are set to include the president, vice president, and much of the cabinet.
This is an all hands on deck situation. Every officer within our department is working.
That man arrested by the Secret Service here Friday is out on bond now. The Arizona Department of Public Safety says it is still investigating what he was doing here at State Farm Stadium, all part of the heightened security around this event. In Glendale, I'm Cole Sullivan.
Right now, a live look over downtown Buffalo. We'll check in with Dan for your full forecast. That's coming up next. It was a picture-perfect Saturday for an outdoor festival, and in the Elmwood Village, a new festival brought art and neighbors together. The one-day event was held at the corner of Lexington and Ashland Avenues. LexFest featured neighborhood businesses, food, and, of course, dozens of local artists.
I think people realize what talent and community is actually right in their own backyard.
And organizers are already thinking of ways to make next year's event even bigger and better. They certainly had a good day for that, Dan. And for activities tomorrow, I understand another good one on the way.
Oh yeah, especially for those that might like it a little warmer. Today it was seasonable. We had temperatures end up in the low to mid 70s. Tomorrow, though, we're really going to bring in that true midsummer feels. We make it run at 80 degrees tomorrow afternoon. Enjoy it. Could be a long time before we see a temperature like that. Of course, we need rain. We do have some rain that is in the forecast, but the reason why we need the rain and the reason why we're actually getting reports from those, especially towards Genesee, Wyoming counties, where wells are actually beginning to dry up quite a bit. So again, we need the rain for the month. Again, only 38/100ths of an inch. It's been more than 2 weeks since we've seen any kind of measurable precipitation at the airport. Yeah, more than 2 weeks. So we need the rain, and for the year, we're up to about a 9-inch deficit. It's been a long time since we've seen that big of a deficit, and that's why we do have moderate drought conditions across much of western New York. As far as those rain chances, again, heading into the upcoming week, we'll take anything we can get. No washouts here, no large areas of, say, soaking rain that would truly help out, but again, we'll take any showers we can get. At least we have some scattered showers arriving even as soon as later Sunday night, but especially Monday and Tuesday of the upcoming week. I think those are the days where we'll have some scattered showers. The rest of the week, outside of maybe Wednesday morning, I think is looking mainly dry. So let's show it to you here with Future Look. And again, as we go through tonight, all quiet. Of course, it was just a beautiful day. Here we are tomorrow morning, kicking off your Sunday at 7 a.m. Temperatures cool to kick off the day, although not quite as chilly as, say, we saw this morning where we had most spots in the 40s. We're around 52 in Buffalo to kick off tomorrow morning, 53 in East Aurora, 55 in Jamestown. Might see a few isolated 40s inland, whether it's 48 in Batavia there, 49 in Olean. As we head to the afternoon, here we are at 3:30. We're picking up mostly sunny skies, and just like that, we're up to around 80 degrees. The average high for this time of year is now only about 70 degrees. So that number, a solid 10 or so degrees above where we should be. And then finally, as we get closer to your Monday morning, here we are at 7 a.m., you can see we got a little bit of activity beginning to show up on the radar. Not a washout Monday, but we'll at least have a few scattered showers around. I think showers will be most numerous Buffalo points south, and I think that'll be the trend even as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday. But first, we got to get you through the rest of this weekend. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, cool, just not as chilly compared to last night. Lows in the mid-50s. And then for your Sunday, it's a bonus summer kind of day. Mostly sunny and unseasonably warm. Highs upper 70s. Some spots even into the low 80s. A bit of a breeze there out of the south, so you might notice that. Might kick up a bit of a chop there, especially on Lake Erie. You might see some waves about 1 to 2 feet. So for tomorrow afternoon, if you are going to be out on the boat, just keep that in mind. Again, a bit of a chop developing. Temperatures will be in the 70s. The water temperature for Lake Erie still hovering around 70 degrees. So if you've been looking to squeeze in some bonus time on the boat or at the beach, tomorrow's going to be a good day for that. But overall, as we do head into the upcoming week, yeah, we're looking a little unsettled. Monday, Tuesday with some scattered showers. But look at the temperatures here for the last full week of September. pretty much every day. Temperatures at to above average. We got sports coming up after a quick break.
This is the Two on Your Side M&T Bank Sports Desk.
The Bills are 3-0 and scored 30 or more points in all 3 of those wins. What's crazy impressive to me is how all these stats keep stacking up for the offense when my own eye test telling me they aren't even functioning yet at full capacity. Outside of the wild fourth quarter comeback against the Ravens in the opener, I think the passing game's leaving a lot to be desired. Part of that is because it hasn't needed to be great with James Cook cooking. However, I do think it's also a product of the wide receivers. Everybody eats is once again the mantra. Keon Coleman popping late against Baltimore, but 6 catches for under 50 yards in the 2 games since. Khalil Shakir just 11 grabs. Josh Palmer 3 catches since week 1. Elijah Moore 4 total. By no means am I sounding the panic alarms. Just something that needs to get better. Here's offensive coordinator Joe Brady's thoughts through 3 games.
I think the guys have great chemistry in the room. We're still, as we're sorting through of certain guys' roles week to week, and how that's going to continue to kind of roll through. But we have some opportunities that we've left out there that we got to take advantage of. But I really like where our guys are in terms of assignments, execution, understanding that. Hey, I might not get a target until the second quarter, but I'm still going to do everything I got to do on those plays in case it finds me.
Bills wide receivers accounting for 39 receptions so far through 3 games. The tight ends, this may be surprising to you, they have 20. To the Sabres, and do you remember Josh Norris? If you forgot about him, I don't blame you. Norris, part of the Dylan Cousins trade in early March, played just 3 games before suffering a season-ending oblique injury. At his peak, Norris a 35-goal scorer. However, he's only played more than 56 games in a season once. Head coach Lindy Ruff confident the Sabres primed for a healthy and hungry Norris this season.
I think we will get an opportunity now to see the real Norris. A guy that's trained all summer, is healthy. It's his first year of training for several years because of dealing with what he'd been dealing with. We know that he's an elite player. I think you can recover some of the goals there. I think at the same time, we've got a guy that is a real good two-way player. 200-foot player, can play well defensively, a guy that we're going to look at almost in every situation.
Absolutely an X factor. Sabres off tomorrow before their first preseason game Monday in Columbus. They welcome the Blue Jackets to KeyBank Center Tuesday night at 7. And that's a look at sports.
Well, finally tonight, the 23rd annual Music is Arts Festival took over the Outer Harbor here in Buffalo. The free event featured over a dozen stages, each with their own lineup of performers. And there was also a silent disco and, of course, lots of local art on display. I'm not sure what a silent disco is.
It's where you got the headset and you get to listen to your own music, I guess, and dance to your own tune.
I don't even know if you can do that. But Music is Arts has been around for a long time, and it is a great event. Actually, just a stalwart event here in Buffalo. I want to thank you for joining us for Channel 2 News tonight. Be sure and join the Sunday Daybreak team. They start at 6:30, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night.